Subsequent to my son's passing, my daughter-in-law evicted me. As the will was read, she ridiculed me. Can you even fathom the sheer soul-crushing betrayal? Just hours after burying my only son, his wife looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're out. You get nothing." But what she didn't know was that my son, even on his deathbed, had planned one final, devastating surprise. A twist so shocking it made her faint right there in the lawyer's office. Finally, I can rest. Dennis was so difficult to care for these last months. The words hit me like ice water. I stood frozen beside my son's casket, the funeral program trembling in my hands. I mean, my own son. Gone. And Vera, my daughter-in-law, was checking her phone, scrolling through messages as if she hadn't just spoken about my dead son like a burden she'd finally shed. "Vera!" My voice cracked through the cold March air. "We just buried my son. Show some respect for the dead." She looked up from her screen, irritation flashing across her perfectly made-up face. The wind cut through the cemetery, scattering the white lilies Martha had placed on nearby graves. Other mourners were walking toward their cars, but their conversations had stopped. They were listening now. Oh, they were definitely listening. "Your son?" Vera's laugh was sharp, bitter. "He was my husband, Horace, and now everything is mine." The funeral program tore slightly in my grip. My engineering mind, always precise, couldn't process what I was hearing. This woman had stood beside Dennis for 7 years. 7 years. She'd promised to love him in sickness and in health. Yet here she was, barely 30 minutes after we'd lowered him into the ground, talking about possession and ownership. "What's wrong with you?" I whispered, though my voice carried further than intended. "At least pretend you're sad." Tom Riley, Dennis's business partner, had stopped walking. He stood 20 feet away, holding his wife's arm, both of them staring at us with undisguised shock. Martha Ellis was moving closer, her face pale with concern. Vera slipped her phone into her designer purse. "Sad, Horace? I've been planning my new life for months. Dennis knew this marriage was over. We both did. That's not true." The words came out strangled. "He loved you, even when the cancer was convenient." She adjusted her expensive black coat, the one Dennis had bought her last Christmas. "It gave me time to think, to plan. Now I can finally live again." Martha reached us just as Vera turned toward the parking area. "Vera, please. This isn't the time or place." "Actually, Martha, this is exactly the time." Vera's heels clicked against the concrete pathway. "I've spent 18 months playing the devoted wife. I'm done performing." The remaining guests had gathered in small clusters, whispering among themselves. Mrs. Henderson from the church shook her head slowly. The 3 men from Dennis's engineering team looked uncomfortable, shuffling their feet and avoiding eye contact. I watched Vera walk away, her stride confident and full story video added in below.